Okay guys, so today we will start with the data type which is called as bool. So you have to understand one thing, the bool data type can accept only two values. So the possible values you can store inside a variable which is of the bool type is one is true, other one is false. So these are the only two possible values that the bool data type can actually hold. So in this you have to remember one more thing, both the words true and false are keywords. So as you know that every language has a set of words which is called as a keywords or reserved words. So in Python, the true and false, all the both of these words are keywords. And look how we have written it. The first letter, the first character of true and the first character of false should be written in capital case. So this is another compulsory thing what you have to follow. Right. Say for example, let us try to analyze it with an example. So I'm just using the online compiler today also. So what I'm going to do is create a variable and just give the value as true. So here, as soon as you have written the word true, you can see here, okay, the color difference. Okay, I guess this is clear. See how the coloring is actually taking it in a different manner because this is considered as a keyword here. So same way, let us say b equals to false. So now what we are going to do, like yesterday, we are going to make use of our type function. To confirm the data type of that particular variable, we are going to make use of the type function and get to know what type of variable these two are. So once let us run the program, see what it says. So both of this is of type bool. So this is the only two possible values of the bool data type. Okay, now what is the next important thing what you have to know with regards to that is, see in Python, okay, in Python we have a number representation. So we have an arithmetic number associated with the word true and false. So for true, we give the number as 1, and for false we represent it with the number 0. So the numerical value, the number value of true and false is true is represented by the number 1 and false is represented by the number 0. So this is another very important thing that you should be remembering, which will be helpful for you in our upcoming things. When we perform different arithmetic operations based on this, the arithmetic operations will be performed based on this numerical representation values only. Okay, now have a look at this. Okay, so I just want you to please have a look at this example. Okay, let us try to run this. Okay, so here you go. Have a look what I'm doing here. I've just created two variables. Okay, now I'm saying C is equal to A greater than B. So A greater than B, a very common operation. So I'm just going to compare the values of A and B using this relational operator, which is nothing but the greater than operator. So I'm just checking whether the value of A is greater than the value of B or not. So this condition is going to return a value which is either true or false. Okay, so now what is the A value? 10. What is the B value? 20. So 10 greater than 20. Obviously, the answer is going to be false. So that value is going to be stored in this C variable. And then I'm going to print the C value. I'm simply, let us take print the C value and print the type of C here. Okay, let us run this piece of code first. Let us take this first. Let us run this piece of code. See, what is the output you're getting? False. Because 10 greater than 20 is false. So that result is getting stored in this variable C, and that is what we are doing here. Now, have a look at this set. What am I doing here? I am performing some arithmetic operations. So I am saying print true plus true. So we know that true is a Boolean value. So I am saying true plus true. Again, I'm saying true minus false. Then I'm saying true into false. So now in this scenario, How the arithmetic operation will be performed is based on this number representation. So that is why I said the number representation is very, very important. So when I say true plus 2, true, what it is going to take, the true value is represented as 1. So it is going to consider as 1 plus 1. See the result? It is giving me the value as 2. So same way, 1 minus false is 0. So 1 minus 0, the result is 1. Then you see true, which is 1, 1 into 0. So any number multiplied by 0, you are going to get the value as 0. So here is how we will be applying the arithmetic operators or also allowed on the Boolean values. So whenever we apply the arithmetic operators, then it will go automatically for the number representation. So otherwise, where is the Boolean operation mainly used is used when we are going to use the relational operators, when we are going to use the logical operators. So like this, there are a lot of things which we will be learning further in our sessions where we will be using very frequently the bool data types. Right. So now there is one more very, very important point you should be knowing before going into the next type. See, for example, here I am saying A is equal to true. Then I'm saying B is equal to true. So now when I print, okay, say when I print A and the type of A, and same way when I print B and the type of B, you just have to notice one point very, very clearly. Both my A and the B variable is having the value as true. This is also having the value as true. This is also going to have the value as true. But this and this are not same. This is a Boolean value. That is the A value, A variable is storing a Boolean value. The B variable is also having the value as true. But see how I have given it. I am giving the value inside a, yeah, I'm giving the value inside of a double quotation. So this is going to be treated as a string. Hence, it is not a Boolean value. Let me just run this. See what it says. The first, it is bool. Yes, because I am giving it as true. Here, even though the value is true, I am putting it within double quotes. So it is going to be treated as a string. So please remember, even though both the values are same, it is not of the same data type. This is one very common mistake that, a beginner level, usually we do this. So try avoiding it. So this is about your bool data type, guys. So the next data type what we are going to discuss is a data type which is called as complex. So complex data type is actually not very frequently used in our basic programming. So whenever we are learning, what we are starting with this is the basics of Python, where we will be doing some level of programs. So in those programs we will not be making use of the complex data type much. So where we will be using is whenever we are performing any scientific applications, any mathematical applications, when we are using more of some advanced level pythons or some advanced level modules where we are seeing, so at those places we will be making use of the complex. But in our normal regular programs, the complex data type is actually not used much. So you have to do right now is, so when we are coming to that part of the Python syllabus, I will tell you more about complex. Right now you just need to know how to create a complex value and what are the do's and don'ts of the complex data type. So that is what I'm going to discuss with you right now. Okay, so the syntax is what we are going to do is, you will have a real part, you will have an imaginary part. So this is how we are building, we are going to construct our complex data type. So complex data type consists of a real number and an imaginary number. So how you are going to give that is, the first number what you are going to give is the real number, then followed by the plus symbol. Then we are going to give the imaginary number. Okay, and the imaginary number will always be followed by the letter J. Don't change it. It is always going to be only J. So this is the syntax of a complex number, how we are going to define it. Okay, say for example, I'm just saying here X. X is the name of my variable. So I'm saying x is equal to 10 plus 20j. So here 10 is going to be my real number and 20 is going to be my imaginary. Okay, here another important point what I want you guys to remember with regards to this is, just have a look here. Okay, suppose you want to print only the real number, or you want to print only the imaginary number. I don't want the other thing. I want only the imaginary number to be printed, or I want only the real number to be printed, or I want both to be printed. How to do that? Yeah, so I have already done that above, so this is not needed. Let me just run the program. See what happens here. So when I print x, it prints the entire number. Whatever is stored inside x, and what is stored inside x? This entire value, the real plus the imaginary number, both are stored together. See how you are getting it in the output. So within the parenthesis, you will be getting the number. Right. Suppose you are saying, as I said, I want only the real number to be printed. I just told you the first number what you're going to give is the real number, and the second part what are the number what you're going to give is the imaginary number. So here you have a predefined property called as real. So how you are going to do it is x. So why I'm saying x? Because x is the variable. X is the variable that is containing this entire number. So how you are going to say it? X dot real. So then if you give like this, it will print only the real number. So same way when I say x dot image, imag. So then this is going to print only the imaginary part of the number. So you want the entire thing, say print x. You want only part of that, then which one you want, accordingly you can make use of it. So these two are the inbuilt properties that is actually available. Right. So other than this, okay, as I said, the next point what I wanted to tell you with regards to complex
Hello.
is,
Hello, ma'am.
yes, ma.
Ma'am, please put it on I, ma'am. Remove it on J. And then compare it.
Sorry, I didn't understand. What do you want me to do?
Remove J and put it on I, ma'am.
Remove J and put,
I, ma'am. I.
okay.
And compare it, ma'am.
Hmm?
Yeah, ma'am. Fine.
What is your doubt here, Ramanju? I did not understand.
Ma'am.
No, what was your doubt? So
Ma'am, is
because it
it
is
had
an
to...
imaginary number, you thought I will be taking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Guys, J is the only value allowed here, as I told.
Ma'am,
And
in
anything else?
general mathematics, imaginary part is a I, ma'am. That's why I'm put it on I, ma'am.
Okay. Guys, in Python, it is going to be J. Okay, just remember
Okay,
that.
ma'am.
Okay, da. So, okay, yes. So the next thing what I was telling you about is the complex data type can also take a floating point value. So the first example here, what I showed you is an integer numbers, that is whole numbers. So here, what we can do is we can also give some floating point numbers also. This is also allowed. So when I'm going to type it like, sorry, see here what I'm giving. Here I have given the real number as a floating point. In this example, I'm using both the real number and the imaginary number, both as a floating point value. Just I'm going to execute this. So as you can see, both are accepted. So yes, it accepts integer value. Yes, it accepts floating point values. So what else? Yes, the other point, very important point and a very common mistake also, what we tend to make is the real part of a complex number can be a binary value also. So I already told you integer numbers can be represented as binary, octal, hexadecimal and the decimal. The four ways are there to implement an integer number. So here what is the important point you have to remember is the real part. When we are trying to declare a complex data type, the real part of it can be a binary value, but if you are giving the imaginary part as a binary, then it will throw you a syntax error. It is not allowed for you. Say for example, let me just run this. Yeah, I just have to take it. This is going to be my output. Okay, so let me run this code. See, what is the output you're getting? 15 is coming in place of the real number. That is nothing but here 11111. This is the binary value of 15. The decimal equivalent of this binary number is 15. So that is why when I print X, this binary number is getting displayed to me in form of a decimal. And this is coming as it is. Now see what happens when I change here. So I am going to say 0p. When I give it like this and when I execute it, see what happens. It is going to throw me an error. See what error it says. It's a syntax error. So always remember, the imaginary part cannot be a binary value. It has to be always either an integer or a floating point. Those two are allowed, but not anything else. Right. Now, again, basic arithmetic operations. Yes, I can very well perform the basic operations on a complex data type also. It is very much allowed. Say, for example, these are the two complex values I'm having. Then I'm saying x plus y. Now I'm saying x into y. So what is going to happen when I run this? See, it is accepted. It is giving me an output also. So what happens here? The numbers are going to be multiplied for me. The numbers are going to be added for me. But see what is happening. The real part is getting added with the real part. The imaginary part is getting added with the imaginary parts. So like that is how it is going to be happening for us. Right. So as I told you, I'm just going to go into a small introduction about your complex data type. I'm not taking much into complex. So when we are seeing your modules, so when we are planning to see modules like NumPy and other things, pandas, so there I will explain you more in depth about the complex data type. Now just know these are the key points what you have to remember. Right. So now moving on to the next type, I told you there are 5 basic types. So in that, the fifth type and the very important type and the most frequently used type is nothing but our strings. Not just in Python, guys, in any programming language you take, whether it is C, C++, Java or Python or any language, JavaScript, whichever programming language you are learning, string is the basic data type which is used almost like 80% of your programs. Without strings, it will never work. So it is that much important when it comes to strings. So you should be knowing completely about your strings data type. Right. So here there is one important point again that you have to remember. So in other programming languages, what we have is two different things. We used to have a data type called as char. So char data type is used to store a single character. So we have a data type called char, which is storing a single character. Then we have a data type called string. Okay, that is going to store multiple characters. So this is how in other programming languages you will be finding it, or in some languages like when you are learning C, I don't have the data type called as string. So instead of that, what we do is we use something which is called as char array. But in when you take languages like Java, C Sharp and all, we have a data type called as strings itself. So basically for a single character you want to store, the data type is going to be char. When you want to store multiple characters, it's either going to be a string or we call it as a char array. But now when it comes to Python, when we are coming to Python, this char data type is not present. It is not available. So in Python, we have only one thing, that is nothing but our strings. Whether you want to store a single character also, it is in a string. Whether you want to store multiple characters also, it is going to be treated as a string only. So this is what you have to remember, the first point with our string data types. Yes, I have already told you what are strings. Strings are nothing but a group of characters which is going to be enclosed within the quotations. So group of characters can be uppercase letters, can be lowercase letters, can be numbers, can be any special characters. So it can be anything. It can be comprised of any of these. We are going to group it together and place it within a quotation. That is what your strings is. Okay, so now in Python, how to create a string? So there are basically three ways using which we can create the string in Python. So the first way, which is very simple, what we are going to use is a single quotation. So the first way what we are going to use is, yeah, make use of a single quotation. So I'm going to create a variable. So here my variable is yes1. Yes1 is equal to, within single quotes, I'm just going to give my name. Now, what is the other method? The second method is, let me say yes2. Yes2 is equal to, I'm going to give my same thing, my name only, but this time within double quotes. So first time within single quotes, second time within double quotes. Now, for the third way. The third way, I'm going to use three single quotes. See here, three single quotes. Then you will give the value, then close it with three single quotes. Now, for the fourth one is, this is also a triple quoted string, but instead of three single quotes, I'm going to give three double quotes. So these are the three ways in which you are going to create your string values: single quotation strings, double quotation string, triple quotation strings. And in triple quotation string, we can either use three single quotations or we can use three double quotations. Remember one thing, whichever one you are using in the starting, the ending also should match. You should not mix it. You're opening with a single quotes, closing with a double quotes, then it is an error. It is not going to accept it. So now what we are going to do is, I'm going to just print all the values. So I'm just going to say print yes1. Then just to confirm, I'm printing the type of s1 also. So there you go for s2, s3 and s4. S3 and my s4 variables, and change it in the type variable. Yes, now let us run this. See what it says. So the string is getting printed for me. Okay, fine. And what is the type? Whether you create it as a single quotation, double quotation, triple quotation, everything is considered as a string only. Everything is going to be considered as a data type as a string. Now have a look here. I am saying s5 is equal to, within single quotes, I'm giving only a single character. I'm mentioning only one single character here. Now, let me see what type this is. See, I'm printing the value and I'm printing the data type of that variable also. Run it. See what it says. This is also a string. So that is what I said. In Python, we do not have a data type called as char. Everything, even a single character also, is going to be treated as a string data type only. Right. So now having said this, what is the next step that we have to know? Which one to use? Okay, so you're going to create your program. Which form of string I should use? Whether should I go for a single quotation, whether I should go for a double quotation, where I should make use of the triple quotation. This is one small confusion that is always there when you're going to start with your programs. So I'll just tell you a few examples. What are the ideal situations to use which format of string to be used? Okay, let us say for example, I want to print this. This is what my output should be like. Okay, this is my output, guys. I want to print this as my output. So what is the output going to be? My best friend's name is Sai. Okay, so now how to do this? How to do this? Okay, let me just say I'm taking the variable called as yes, and I'm going to store this. I'm going to store this inside. There you go. And then I'm just saying print A. Okay, so I'm just going to say here, this is it. Now, can you see what is happening here? Do you see the color differences here? See what happens. I have started with a single quotation. Then I'm saying my best friends. So friends, apostrophe yes. So for the apostrophe also, we use the same quotation as we are starting our string with. So what is my interpreter going to think here is, this is a string opening. This apostrophe, it will take it as a string closing. Okay, the string is opening here, the string is closed here. Now, what are the rest of these characters doing? So it is going to throw you a syntax error. It is going to throw us an error. So it is not going to accept the code. See what happens? Syntax error. Because it is saying the string is opening, the string is closing here. All these are unwanted characters. I don't recognize what are these. So remember, whenever, if it is a normal string, no problem. You can put it within single quotes itself. But when the string is going to contain such values, so when the string is going to contain values with apostrophes, or if I am saying, isn't it a wonderful day today? So isn't it, again, it is going to have an apostrophe. Don't come here. Don't. So when I'm using such words in my string, then it is not advisable for me to use a single quotation. So always the best recommended value is go for the double quotation. See now, you see the color difference again. There is no error at all this time. Let us run this. See, it is giving me the output also, and it is getting the exact same output as what I have deserved. What I have shown here, the exact output I am able to get. So always remember, if the string does not contain any apostrophes or any characters like this, it is just a normal words, normal group of letters, then you can make use of single quotation. Otherwise, always we prefer the double quotations. Right.